Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, classic/non-classic. This is episode number 483 and Doubleshot number 396. Yep, that's basically how many I had. Got two Deadpool trades. First up, it's Deadpool versus the Punisher. Trade collects the 5-issue limited series written by Fred Van Lin, with artwork by Piri Perez. Yeah. Now, yeah, like the title says, yeah, these two fight each other for pretty much almost the entire series. Now, one thing also quite neat about this series is that, well, they had two guest appearances by two noteworthy Marvel supervillains. The Kingpin of Crime, Wilson Fisk himself, and the Taskmaster appears in here as well. This is the second to most recent Versus series that Deadpool has had. The current one, he's facing off against Old Man Logan. Yep. He's faced off against that. He's doing that one now. This is a cool little series. I appreciate the fact that you have Deadpool fighting the Punisher. By the way, not the first series that actually had to fight each other. The last time was Suicide Kings. Yeah, so this is the second time they've actually been in a series together. But yeah, this is one really good series. I do recommend basically if you're both Deadpool and Punisher fans. I get this book a 9 out of 10. It's really good. Alright, next up is Deadpool 2099, collecting issues of Deadpool Volume 4. This is the current volume for the series. Issues 6, 12, 19, 25. A 5-part story written by Gary Duggan with art by Scott Kubelich. Excuse me. Now, I'm not happy with the fact there was one particular issue, one particular book I would have loved they threw this in here. And there was an issue of Spider-Man 2099 where she made a guest star appearance. Well, it was a cameo. They could have thrown that in there. Yeah. And this is just, even though technically these issues have been collected before in the regular Deadpool trades, but I'm kind of glad the fact they actually put a trade together, put these 5 issues of this Deadpool 2099 story, and they just put them all together so you can read the entire story beginning to end, no problem. I should point out, though, the cover is a nod to the first issues of the 29 line. They had this banner on all of them. Yeah, if you ever find any old issue of any 29 book, either it's Spider-Man, X-Men, Punisher, they had this border on all of them. So I appreciate the fact that the artist, the cover art, the artwork, I think it's Kubelich that does the cover art, right? No, yeah, it's Kubelich does all the cover art, with Guru FX does issue 6. He does the first part in here. Nick Falori does the remaining 3 issues. Actually, it's a 4-part story, but yeah. Really good story. Just basically Deadpool and Zenpool. Zenpool is now this Deadpool here. It's one of Deadpool's daughters, one of 2 of them. Now you're thinking, is this Ellie? No, it's not Ellie. It's actually the daughter of Sakila, I think her name is. Yeah, Deadpool's wife. Yeah, this is the second daughter he's actually had. And they do show exactly what she looks like without her mask on. And she's a somewhat low woman. I do appreciate Scott Kubelich for giving her, despite the fact she has the same scars as Deadpool himself. But yeah, that's not a bad looking face. Yep. It kind of looks like, well, look at her. She kind of like she's maybe Asian in a way. Yeah, possibly it could be Japanese by the style of haircut and where her face is. But I get the fact the scars were actually from her father. But as far as I know, she didn't really inherit much anything else from her father aside from the scars. I think the hair she inherited from her mother. Of course, Deadpool doesn't have any hair because he's heavily scarred. Yeah, he's bald. Yep. Though when he's in his handsome look, I think he tends to be drawn look like he's Ryan Reynolds. He's kind of close to it. Yeah. But this is basically 4 just really good fun issues. I just kind of wish they would also throw in that cameo appearance that she made outside of these 5-part stories from Summer 29. Yeah, it was very recent. It was during it was at the end of the Civil War II tie-in when Miguel went back to the past after he defeated the Sinister Six of that timeline. And of course, Jameson at that point, of course, he was revealed to be a Skrull. Basically, the issue ended with Deadpool 2099 showing up completely out of nowhere, preparing to kill him. And that was her only appearance outside this 4-part story. I kind of wish they threw that in there, but I guess not. But yeah. Fun little story. Perhaps one day they might give this character an ongoing series. Who knows? It's just a possibility. But if they do, set it in the original Marvel 29 timeline. They do have cameo appearances in here by Iron Fist, who's old. And it's also a joke. I think Ellie. Ellie is this one. That's Deadpool. Yep. Ellie is Deadpool. Though for some reason, I don't know why this is. She's drawn to look like Preston. Preston is not her mother at all. Her mother is a woman that Deadpool met basically when he was time traveling back into the 70s. Yeah. Well, actually, who knows when basically that was. Because Deadpool was during that flashback storyline when he, well, kind of was with another woman. I don't think it's supposed to be Preston. I think Preston's supposed to be her adoptive mother. But for some reason, she's drawn to look like a younger version of Preston. I don't really know why. Also, the artist basically kind of slims her up a bit for her AI version because Preston basically was kind of chubby. And the fact she's also a wife and a mother of 2 kids. Yeah. But that's basically how Ellie is drawn in here, which is a little bit surprising. The fact they actually did. Now, the whole Zenpool thing, that's actually comes from the original Sin tie-in for Deadpool from the previous volume. When Deadpool was Zenpool, when he was a peacekeeper. Yeah, he basically swore off all violence. That's basically how he was during Original Sin. So, Ellie took up his code name for Original Sin. That's basically where that comes from. And of course, now, what's the name of this daughter? Her name is Warda. It's kind of a female name for Wade, though basically the female name for Wade is Wanda. But Warda is kind of interesting. But yeah, 2 smoking hot women. And they're both daughters of Deadpool. Deadpool, I think, by looking at him, he's probably close to 100 years old. That is just a theory. Also, apparently, Ellie's mutant ability is kind of like Deadpool's healing factor, but instead of like a little bit at a time, she regenerates like right away the whole entire body at once. And when she comes out, basically after she was sort of burned to a crisp, she comes back looking like a teenager. Apparently, she got her apparently her mutant gene activated when she was around her mid-teens. That is basically what it is, and she looks very lovely. Though I'm kind of glad the fact the artist did not show a 15-year-old in the nude in here. Basically, kind of inappropriate to show that in an American comic book. That might be okay for Japan comic books, but not for American, because we have different tastes than they do. Okay, but still a good story. I give this book a 9 out of 10. Also, there's a joke in here about Ellie digging up the grave of Doc Samson. Currently, Doc Samson's alive, and here's kind of the thing: he was revealed to be alive at just in Civil War 2 number 0, and there was no explanation for his resurrection. And some people think that he screwed up Greg Pak once with the whole thing revealing that, with the whole thing of Bruce Banner still have a game relation in his body, despite the fact in the Greg Pak book he didn't. Yeah, he screwed up Greg Pak twice. First time was basically having totally out of some hope, and then he retconned something else. He retconned something from Greg Pak's original Hulk run from I think it was 2010. Yeah, when he retconned the death of Doc Samson, because Doc Samson died, and he's been dead for years. So he did kind of briefly come back during Chaos War, but there has been so far no explanation. Yeah, he's one of those characters now, basically, where there's just no explanation for their resurrection. Okay, so that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for the next episode. Let's see. I think I have 2 more Deadpool trades in the next episode. I gotta read them first before I get a chance to view them. Okay, but until then, I will see you all in that very next episode, which will be episode 484 and Doubleshot number 397. Okay, but until then, I will see you there. Bye.